We have played around the level and know what happens when I shoot the gun, when the enemies shoot me, and you may be wondering, how is everything done? In the case of this template, everything has been done in blueprints. And the term blueprints, you may already have heard it, and let's just define it. Blueprints are the way that we have of adding new functionality in a visual way. So it's the programming system based on nodes that lets us create that new functionality without the need of writing a single line of C++, which is the programming language that Unreal Engine uses. So how can I find these blueprints? All the blueprints will be on the content drawer, and you will probably find, for example, Variant Shooter, a folder called blueprints, and you will find a lot of blueprints there. If you want the whole list of all the blueprints, you can add a filter, as we saw before, a filter that just gets blueprints. You can also come here and open a blueprint class, and you will see a lot of classes here, but let me just click on the cog and remove the engine content. Now I will only see the blueprints that were created for this template. So the blueprints that only exist in this project are those that are in this list. So for example, if we open our shooter character, we will find the blueprint editor. And this blueprint editor has some parts that you should know about. So we have three main tabs. And let me just close these ones. I don't know why they were open, but we have the viewport tab. If you don't have it, you can get it on view and viewport. The viewport shows how our blueprint will look like in the level. And now, remember, we said that whatever I put inside the level is an actor. So yes, all the blueprints, there are some exceptions to the rule, but most of the blueprints are actors. So for example, here is how this blueprint will look like in the game. And we already told you about how those actors in the level are just containers for components. So here in this components tab, I can see the components that are making up this blueprint. I have a capsule component that will decide the collision of my character. I have a spring arm that is just like an arm that holds the camera. We have a camera, and this is the camera that shows up whenever we die as a player. Otherwise, we have this other camera that will be inside of the head of my first person type of character. So we have a mesh, that is the mesh that you will show other players, and we have the first person mesh that's probably just the arms that you will show not to other players but to the current player playing this character. Then we have an arrow component, which, as you can see in the details panel, is just an arrow. It's just being used to show which direction is the front. And then we have components that we cannot see in the viewport of my blueprint. These components just usually hold logic and helps a lot in order for us to reuse, for example, character movement. Maybe I will have many characters that move like this, so I can reuse this component. What's the difference between these components under these lines and these other components? These ones are called actor components. They don't really have a location or a transform. As you can see, even though I have this gizmo here, it won't let me move it because it doesn't have a transform. They just exist in this class. The other ones are called scene components. And these scene components do have a transform. I can move around the mesh if I would like to. So that is the main difference between these two components, but both of them are actor components. So this is an actor component, this is an actor component, but this is a what we call a subclass of an actor component because it's an actor component that adds a transform, this location, rotation, and scale. And we will talk a lot about actors and other actors that are part of the same, let's say, family of actors. This is what's called object-oriented programming. You have objects that represent something, usually data or objects that are part of the system. This means that if I want to represent maybe a door, I will create an object that represents that door. Inside of it, I will select the components, for example, a static mesh, maybe sound when the door opens, maybe a VFX component, so I can, I don't know, show some dust. And those components will have also properties that makes the actual object represent the door. I can even create what it's called variables, which you can find here, as it says variable, to represent certain aspects of any type of object. In this example, we have a character, and this character has health. So here, I can find the current HP, which is a variable that we can set the default value on this side. And right now the default value is 500. It's just a number. But we could also have, for example, this variable that is called tag, which is just a name. And here the default value is dead. So it's a text, a kind of text. So we will have different types of variables inside of our objects, which I will be using interchangeably, like objects, actors, or blueprints. They are almost the same. Object is just the term, the programming term of the system that we're using, which is, well, more than system will be like programming paradigm, but we don't want to get too technical here. If we're talking about programming in general, this is an object. If we're talking about the asset type, this is a blueprint. And if we're talking about the class, this is an actor. And well, in this specific case where this is a character I can also put and drag in my level. So if I drag and drop it to my level, I will see it, I can move around. So this character that it has as a class character is an actor because the characters in Unreal are children of the actor class. And it's a little bit more complicated. Before its character, the parent class of that is the pawn, and the parent class of that is the actor. So you don't need to worry too much about it just yet. You just need to understand that these things exist. You don't need to redo a lot of things or redo, for example, a way to show a static mesh because it has been already done for you. So you just need to learn, okay, this class is used for this specific purpose. Okay, I need something like that, but I want to add, for example, HP. Okay, you're free to do it. That's the power behind the design philosophy of Unreal Engine, and you can learn more about this if you search for the Unreal Engine framework. But again, for now, if you're completely new to Unreal, don't worry too much about it. Just follow along what we are going to be doing, and start things will start clicking as we go along this course. Now, to finish with the blueprint editor interface, we have already talked about the components. We know that a blueprint is just a container of components, and the components are what makes our classes, our blueprint classes, or blueprint assets unique. Inside of it, we can define variables that can hold information. If you have never heard about a variable is just like a box where you are telling it, okay, here I will store a number, and the label of this box will be current HP. So how do I tell it that this is a number? Variables just have variable types. We can select them here, or well, to the right side also. We have booleans which is just true or false values. Bytes is an 8-bit number. It can go. Yeah, I mean, computers find this type of numbers useful. You can do a lot of very cool things with bytes, but we would probably just use integers, which are whole numbers. This type of variable holds an even bigger type of whole number. Floats is a floating point number. We can have decimals here. Name, string, and text, they all hold text. There are some little difference here. Names are used for IDs. Strings are used to manipulate the strings of characters, for example, like joining strings or deleting half of the string or getting a specific character at a specific point of the string. Text loses that ability, but makes it easy for us to localize the text. So if we're making a game and we want to translate it to another language, using text is very useful. Vector is just a floating point number, but 3 components of this number. So usually it represents X, Y, and Z. Rotator, again, we have 3. If I call it component, which is the mathematical name, it could get confusing with these components. So I'll just call it has 3 items, 3 numbers here. How it's rotated in X, in Y, and in Z. And the transform is specific for a 3D transformation. So it has 3 vectors, or well, 2 vectors and 1 rotation. The first vector will be translation, the second one will be a rotation, and the third one will be a scale. This transform is the same that I can find here. Transform, location, rotation, scale. These are the ones that will be inside that type of variable. So these are the basic type of variables, but we can create our own variables, our own structures, our own interfaces. So yeah, you just need to know it's just a little box with a label that will be the name and the type of variable that we want to hold there. And then it will be up to us how we fill that information. Like for example here, the template already filled it for us and it put 500. Now the last things, because we have explored the blueprints interface, or well, the editor interface, and I just talked about one tab and these other panels. We have these other 2 tabs, the construction script, which we will have nodes that will run at the start of the creation of this blueprint, and the event graph. And let's not call it creation, it's almost like an initialization. And in the event graph, we will have all the logic that will happen during the game. So when the game starts, things that I put here will start running. So this is the nodes that we will be using to add new functionality and start doing very interesting things with them. At first, it can look very daunting, and let me just here right click and dock to the sidebar, just so I have more space here to show you. So it may look very difficult to understand this, but don't worry, we will go step by step. You don't need to understand anything just yet. I will present you the different types of nodes that exist. As you can see, there are some colors. Those colors do have meanings, and it will make learning to program in blueprints a lot easier. So yeah, that is the presentation of the blueprint system, which is the visual programming system inside of a real engine. Just as a side note, whatever that you can do in blueprints, you can also do in C++. But not the other way around. There are some things that are only available in C++, but depending on the type of game, I have released games that are only done in Blueprint, so it's not exactly mandatory to learn C++. But it does help a lot in the future, so yeah. Hopefully this video doesn't scare you away, because we will be seeing this step by step. Right now, in this class, everything has already been created, but we will start creating a blueprint from scratch, and it will be a lot more digestible. I just wanted to give you an overview, just so you don't think that you're just learning a little part and then you can't make sense of how this little part fits on the overall type of game. And yeah, let's get started now and start learning blueprints.